Right, welcome to Lionheart XO. I will be doing the one card combo with Cyber Dragon Core for my Cyber Dragon K9 deck list. It's a pretty broken combo, and you just off core alone, you can get up to 7 interruptions just off of core by itself. Which is actually insane. So you'll have 4 other cards. Hopefully, they're other hand traps or like extenders if you get negated. But and you don't brick. That's the main thing. But just off core alone, I can show you what the Cyber Dragon K9 combo that wins me most games can do. So you start off with core in your hand, and you go normal summon core. Core will get you Cyber Dark Realm, and adds to your hand. Then what we're going to do after that is we're going to activate Cyber Dark Realm. So now Cyber Dark Realm on activation, what it's going to do is going to add a Cyber Dark to hand. So we're going to add Cyber Dark Chimera. And with that, a bonus effect of Realm. Unfortunately, it is an activated effect. It doesn't just happen. So you have to go activate Cyber Dark Realm to extra normal summon. And when it resolves, then you get to normal summon. It's a bit old for its time because it's not like Blue Eyes where the summon just happens or anything else just happens, which is unfortunate. But rata this, make it happen, Konami. Come on. How we're getting here? Next off, we link off our core into our Clockwork Knight. Now, on ignition, when Clockwork Knight is link summoned, what we're going to do is send Cyber Dark Realm to the grave. And what it's going to do is add us Clockwork Knight. There it is. Yep, I did order it correctly, luckily. Now, Clockwork Knight is broken. We're not going to activate it, though, even though it is broken for generic Cyber Dragon plays. We are instead going to go Cyber Dark Chimera effect. Pitch a spell trap that you control, and we're going to add Power Bond to our hand. It's really nice. This next off, what we're going to do is we're going to link off two machines to go into Cleefort Genius. Now, on ignition, we're going to go Cyber Dark Chimera effect. What it does is send Cyber Dark Worm to the graveyard. Worm, if you can't see it there. And what that's going to do is now enable us to play through a lot of stuff. Here, if you have anything you want to discard, I would go with Clockwork Knight or Clockwork Knight effect here. But for this play, and I'm assuming nobody has any hand traps, I'm going to show you what this deck can do. We're going to go Cyber Dark Worm effect, send for cost a Cyber Dragon Hers. Summon itself, and then since we summoned it, we can add a spell trap, which we're going to add back the realm. So now we're +1 basically. With that, an ignition effect again. Cyber Dragon Hers is going to add us regular Cyber Dragon, and we're going to go here. We're going to go Power Bond. Power Bond is going to, since we've used Chimera's effect and it resolved, we can use from the graveyard too. So we banish Hers and we banish Core, and that will allow us to fusion summon into Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. Rampage Dragon effect, you could pop anything if you wanted to, especially if you're going second, I would encourage. But I'm going to use the effect to send, I don't know if I did this right, yes I did, Cyber Dragon Core to the grave just for follow-up, just in case anything goes a bit haywire or they break our board. Because then you could, once that a core's in the graveyard, so you could banish it if you don't, and you're not relying on luck to draw a core to get another spell trap. So what we're going to do here is, normally it would be Infinity, but this time we're going to do something slightly different. We're going to Xyz into Ripper, and with that we're going to go Ripper effect. Now I like to send Worm in the old way. You would send if you're playing pure, you would send the fusion to do the whole poly play, so you get to bring it back and draw one. But this one is, again, slightly different. So we're going to send Worm to the graveyard, and that's going to allow us to add any K9 card. I emphasize card because what I prefer to add is case for K9. Reason I do this is because you've already got a hand negate. If they decide to draw, if they were going to draw you, they were going to draw you a long time ago, so you might as well grab case. Because I think it's a good searcher. You're middlemaning essentially for Jokul, which is what you're going to get next once you activate this. Grab Jokul. Why you don't just add Jokul straight away is because this, if they do hand traps you at any time, any turn, this gains your monster's 900, and then it's really hard to break the board because most combos use it when they're trying to just attack over. So yeah, you've got Jokul in hand off case. You go Jokul, reveal Cyber Dragon to special summon both at the same time. Pop them in the columns that Cleafort Genius is pointing to, and therefore you get the effect of Cleafort Genius, which adds you Disablaster, Negation Fortress. Next, what we're going to do, since we're light locked thanks to Jokul's effect, we're not going to do that just yet, actually, sorry. We're going to go Jokul effect, which will grab you Lantern. Now you're +2 with hands anyway. So you've got that. So you've got all these three in hand. What we're going to do is we're going to go into Xyz, since we're light locked. Go into Imperial Princess Queen Query. We're going to use her effect, and we're going to make sure we detach Jokul, because we need a target in the graveyard, and we're going to reborn Worm since it's a machine. Next, what we can do here is completely up to you. I prefer, if I want the Omni negate here, I would play Disablaster because there's nothing column. You've got two machines that are not locked in anyway, and then you can just go into Nova and then straight into Infinity. You don't even need to reborn worry about reborning any Cyber Dragons. Obviously, if you play through a bit, if you've got a bit, it's hard to go through anyway, and you've got an Omni negate and a hand negate anyway at this point. If you were worried about Nib, you would Regulus and ditch another card, but at the end of the day, hopefully you have Azuna. If they Nib, you go Azuna, summon, Ripper combo anyway. And you can still get to Infinity thanks to other things. Then what I would do here is I would go Lantern effect, target Jokul, summon both of them. Cleafort Genius is not a once per turn, so we get to add a specific K9, which I did not anticipate, because I have just looked at the combo, and I would add Noroi for follow-up, just in case my board, so I have two follow-ups. Here, that was adding off Cleafort Genius. Here, I would go Lantern effect, adds me X-Force Release. Obviously, that's if they haven't hand-trapped you at all. If they had hand-trapped you, you could set X-Force Released with K9 Ripper, and therefore it would be, you've got another powerful card already set on the field for you, because you don't need to use it. You don't need to use it at this point. Here I would go into, depends on what deck, but Valon. If you're not worried about any like Link or Synchro deck, you could go into Chronomaly, which isn't just an extra negate. It is always handy. I think that right now, with all the Link decks and Synchro decks especially that are going to come up, i.e. Cool Toon, other stuff, if you're playing against heroes, obviously, Cyber Dragon is the natural born enemy of any hero, so you just you play pure against pure heroes, which is nice. But yeah, anyway, I prefer Valon still. I'm thinking about like taking something else out for Chronomaly or another rank 5 interruption play, which I need to find a better one so far. Anyway, moving on with the combo, I'm going to link 2 into SP Little Knight, and therefore, since we've got all this already, you can do SP Banish if you want, but since we've got all this, I can then go, okay, I'm going to banish Clockwork Knight, discard the realm that we added to our hand, discard it to the graveyard, and then I get to add my Therion King Regulus. And then I get to go Therion King Regulus, equip Cleefort Genius or Clockwork Knight. Funny thing, if they bestial a target for Therion King Regulus, the cost is just to target. So what you could do is just go, alright, I'm targeting, I go Therion King Regulus, they chain bestial. There you go, cool, they summon their bestial. Cool, I still summon my Regulus. Still get the Omni Negate, I just don't get the equip. That's all you've stopped. But yeah, because I used to think that stopped the summon, but when you read the card, it says you can target one Therion monster or machine monster in your grave, special summon for cost, special summon this card, and if you do, equip this. So it's the if you do, then equip. If you special summon it, then you equip it. So you don't need the target to summon it, which is actually insane. Obviously, if you equip Cyber Dragon and you have a second Clockwork Knight and you activate Clockwork Knight, that Cyber Dragon can be used to contact fuse the board. And then lastly, you set your X-Force release. So what? And with this, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then Werewolf when you target Ripper, and that becomes 7 interruptions, which is actually insane when you think about it. It's a board. And then you've got Noroi to follow up, and then plus 3, 4. So if you have an Izuna in hand as well, that's insane because you haven't used her effect. You can then go, alright, I Omni Negate your thing with Regulus. Look at that, is that 2 little monster zones? Because Regulus negates the effect. Send Lupus, and then Lupus effect, go in, and then here comes the money, Jax. And you could use Jax with 3, so if you don't use the target pop, which you should, you could get another pop and use Werewolf instead, and you still keep your Ripper with the negate. It depends, yeah. You could play 2 Ripper. Obviously it's a once per turn, so it's just if you have a X-Force release target, it's really nice. But yeah, in all, that's my Cyber Dragon 1k9 1 card combo on going first. Going second, I would have to play into a board, and I can show you some matchups along the way, and as this channel grows, share some tips. I'm known mostly for playing Cyber Dragon and K9, but mostly I'm the biggest Cyber Dragon enthusiast ever to go, and I've topped quite a bit with this deck. Yeah, my locals, when I first started, they were like, Cyber Dragon, what's Cyber Dragon doing? And then, yeah, I've just kept going with it and kept trying, and yeah, it's a contender, and everyone just goes, I'm against Cyber Dragon now, and that's, I think, what I'm proudest of while playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Is I've come up with one deck and mastered it, and therefore now I'm a threat with it. It's just a nice feeling to know that I'm really good with this deck. Anyway, I'm yapping. Next time I am going to do a list of a different deck that I've been working on, and just like expanding my horizons while playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I just want to you know, just keep having fun, having duels. So far, this is the most fun. This and Cyber Dragon Pure are the most fun I've had playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And hopefully you guys will like it too. And yeah, like, comment, and subscribe.